The first West Lincoln Memorial Hospital opened on January 7, 1946. The hospital had 18 beds, an operating room, X-ray facilities, and labor and delivery rooms. There were plans to add a new 10-bed wing when disaster struck. The new hospital was lost in a fire. A temporary hospital was set up, and construction soon began on a new 34-bed hospital, which opened on October 23, 1949. Through the years, the West Lincoln Memorial Hospital has evolved and grown. A new 25-bed ward was added in 1961. By 1969, 2 more wards were established and hospital services were expanded. The hospital continued to offer modern urgent and emergency care, but in 1997 was threatened with closure. In 1997, the community rallied to save the hospital from closure by coming together at a candlelight vigil. The WLMH is now the only small hospital in Niagara to retain its own local governance and remain outside of Niagara Health Services amalgamation. The Investing in Life campaign is launched in 2000 and raises over $12.9 million from the West Niagara community for a new 84-bed hospital. In 2006, the provincial government announced it would fund the new hospital to an unprecedented 90% of the eligible construction costs. Construction of the new hospital is expected to start in 2010.
Hello, I'm Tom Otto.
And I'm Sue Rogers.
We're here on behalf of the West Lincoln Memorial Hospital.
What, again?
Yes, but this is different.
We just gave money for the capital campaign.
This is different.
And I understood that the government was funding 90% of the new hospital's construction costs.
That's right, but this is different.
Different how?
The hospital board has identified a need for new X-ray equipment. Some of the current equipment needs updating. We'll be replacing old technology to better serve the patients.
We need this equipment now? What happens to it when we get the new hospital?
The new state-of-the-art equipment will be moved into the new hospital when it is completed.
Won't this equipment be part of the package when we get the new hospital?
No, capital equipment is not eligible for Ministry of Health funding, and the hospital must cover 100% of the costs, then or now.
New X-ray equipment, eh? How much is this going to cost?
The goal of Project X-ray is $3.6 million.
Whoa, that's very expensive. Look, do we really need this?
Well, the current X-ray equipment is functional, but it's old. New equipment now means our hospital staff will have advanced technology to better diagnose patients, much more quickly and much more accurately. In addition to reducing wait times for certain procedures and providing better efficiency, we expect it will make the healthcare field in Niagara West much more attractive to future practitioners.
So the more we upgrade and the better equipment that we bring online, hopefully we'll be able to attract more healthcare practitioners to serve the community.
Right.
So just exactly what is this equipment that we need?
Several new pieces of equipment will be purchased through the campaign, and they will all be part of the radiology suite in the new hospital. Once built, it is proposed to have 3 rooms for imaging, with the goal of shortening wait times for specialized radiological diagnostics.
Say, wasn't a digital radiography system purchased for installation last July? Now, that unit allows for real-time imaging, for special procedures and routine X-ray examinations. This digital radiography imaging is pretty high-tech stuff. It allows the image to appear immediately following exposure.
Exactly. The need was so great for the equipment that the hospital bought it, confident that we'll be able to fundraise now to cover the costs of the machine.
Okay, so what else do we need?
Several other necessary pieces of equipment will be purchased with campaign contributions, including the PACS system.
Whoa, you're going to have to explain that one.
The Picture Archiving and Communications System is a filmless system which allows images to be viewed and stored electronically. And it allows for seamless transfer of information between medical facilities and physicians in the community.
So patients would no longer have to request films, sign them out, and deliver them to an appointment.
You catch on quickly. Another new piece of equipment is an X-ray unit, designed for general X-ray imaging and allowing for instant viewing of images after exposure.
There'd no longer be any need to develop film or handle cassettes.
You got it. A new ultrasound unit will be purchased to replace dated ultrasound equipment currently in use. The new equipment will have enhanced properties to allow medical staff to better evaluate images for diagnosis.
Okay, what else?
The current mammography unit was purchased in 2000 and has an approximate lifespan of 5 to 10 years. With new technology, the equipment would be expanded to a full-field digital mammography system, allowing for increased sharpness and optimal imaging performance.
Well, I'm certainly on board for that.
Finally, we need a portable X-ray unit. The mobile radiology system provides imaging services away from the X-ray department in whatever location required.
That type of imaging would be particularly useful in emergency rooms for trauma patients or those in critical condition.
Ultimately, all of this equipment will better serve the residents. These upgrades to the radiology department will keep the West Lincoln Memorial Hospital on the leading technological edge and open the line of communication with larger medical centers.
And supporting the campaign is an opportunity for the community to participate in continuing to improve the quality of care they receive at the hospital.
That's it exactly. We all end up visiting the hospital for some reason or another. Ultimately, we're investing in something that we and our loved ones will probably be using ourselves one day.
So the people of West Niagara can really make an impact and help improve the quality of their own health care by supporting this campaign.
Yes, the community has been gracious with its support already, and we expect they will understand the importance of providing this new equipment for the hospital.
Well, it only makes sense that if we're going to build a new hospital, we fill it with the best equipment possible.
And for that, we need your help.
I agreed to take on the role as chair of the campaign of Project X-Ray because I thought it was an opportunity for me to contribute more towards the campaign of the hospital and the whole team aspect of the hospital and the Hospital Foundation. And I thought it was something that I could contribute to in a very positive way, and thought that I could clear my schedule enough to make time to do the job.
I decided to take on the role of vice chair of Project X-Ray because I recognized that this was a program that would provide outstanding service to our community with the addition of new equipment for West Lincoln Memorial Hospital. The program I felt was an excellent one. It had excellent committee members made up of outstanding members of the community who had been assembled under the leadership of the chairman, Paul Stringer, who has in the past been involved in community activities, been very successful. The program I felt was something very worthwhile and gave me an opportunity to contribute or give back to the community.
As a resident of the area for over 20 years, it became apparent to me that we must have state-of-the-art equipment for the hospital and a state-of-the-art hospital as well. I deal a lot with the local doctors in town and have many of them as my friends, and I know that if you don't have the proper equipment and tools for the people, then the people can't do their job properly, and you won't be able to retain or bring new people that are qualified to do the job into our own hospital. So it's of paramount importance to have the proper tools to make sure that we have the best people that go with those tools.
As a physician, we're very dependent on an up-to-date and modern radiology department to provide quality diagnostic testing for our patients. This applies to both inpatients and outpatients. At the moment, our equipment has served us very well over the years, but it's becoming out of date. Without updating our equipment with newer state-of-the-art equipment, we'll fall further behind, and diagnostic testing will become a lot more difficult. It'll provide faster service for our patients, I feel, with the more efficient or the more efficiency that we'll achieve with the newer equipment.
I anticipate that there will just be tremendous support for the campaign. We've already found, as I've approached the various people to join the team, that there's been virtually 100% enthusiasm from every person approached, both in terms of their time and financial commitment, and the support that they are then receiving as they go out in the early stages of this campaign have continued to show that it's a huge underlying support for the entire campaign. I don't think that there's going to be any difficulty at all in reaching the goal and having people prepared not only to fulfill this phase of the campaign, but to look to whatever the next step will be in supporting our local hospital.
We've been here for 32 years. I started then with my partner, Dr. Brooks, and there were really no changes until 25 years ago when we introduced ultrasound and echocardiography. Now, at that time it was just black and white with shades of gray, about 10 shades of gray in between. It's improved considerably since that time.
Well, first of all, as a patient, the best part of having all this new equipment is kind of like when you upgrade to a digital camera from one of those old cameras like I used to have, where you have to load the film, unload it, develop it, and then see if it turns out. So for a patient, you can come in and you can lay down or stand up as what's needed, and they know right away if it's a good picture. You don't have to wait around and get done again, so that decreases your radiation exposure, which I think is very important for the patients. It's also going to decrease wait times. And of course, everybody is concerned about how long you have to wait for x-rays. And then as a patient, you don't have to carry around a heavy package from one area to another, or try and carry it to another hospital for that matter, and that's a good convenience as well. I also think that the new equipment is going to be so much better for people who need to come in wheelchairs. There's a lot more accessibility for taking the films with those people.
The difference between regular, that we call film screen radiography, and digital radiography, I can probably best describe by comparing it to the new digital cameras that have been on the market for the last few years. Most people understand these. And in the digital camera, there's a little wafer called a memory card. And after the exposure has been made and the person wants to see the pictures, they go to a reader, which you can find in a big box store or some drugstores or a camera shop, and then you put it into the reader, and then in 2 minutes out comes your image, your picture on photographic paper. Well, this is similar, or that is similar to CR that we have known as computed radiography. And then the other type, which is similar to RDR, known as digital radiography, is if you connect that with a short cable to your computer at home, and then you can look at the image directly on your screen, on your TV monitor. Now, what has happened until, say, about 10 years ago, we did radiography with what we called film screens. The X-ray film was in a holder known as a cassette, and in that there were screens that fluoresced and gave an extra amount of light when the X-ray beam hit it. And the problem with this was the technologists needed to put this cassette in a tray in the table, and they had to first pull the tray out, then put the cassette in, push the tray back in, then go make the exposure, then pull the tray out, take the cassette out, and then walk it over to the darkroom. Then the darkroom technician had to feed it into a processor, the developer, the fixer, and the X-ray film, as we know, came out the other end. Then the problem was that it had to be attached to an envelope, carried to the radiologist's office. The radiologist had to hang the films on the view box, read them, then put them in the envelope. Then the envelope had to go out to a temporary waiting area for the report. Then the report had to be put in the bag, and then it had to be taken to a 48-hour file while it was waiting for the doctors to come and look at it, and then down to the basement for storage. But we didn't have enough room for storage for the time required, and then it had to go off-site. Now all this staff time and space is money. Time and space are money. About 5 years ago, something came out called DR, and that is digital radiography. And when the hospital said it was going digital, I've always pressed to get DR wherever possible instead of CR because of the increased efficiency. Now in this, the receptor, known as a flat panel receptor, sits permanently in the table below the tabletop and permanently in the chest stand. As a result, the technologist does not have to slide this into the holder in and out, and they can work at twice the speed. So there's an advantage to us there because staff time is money. But the real advantage will be in the new hospital, because in the original plan, we planned for 3 X-ray rooms. Well, we're going to have 2 digital rooms, and one of the rooms will have 2 digital receptors. So we won't need a 3rd room, which means it could be used for ultrasound or for CT scanning. We won't have to buy another X-ray machine, $500,000.
The important thing about having a patient get any kind of imaging is to help us to get a diagnosis. So to get a diagnosis, we have to have the best quality possible. And just like the old cameras and the old TVs, well, the quality isn't as great as those new digital cameras and all those pixels. I'm not sure what they are, but I know they're really good. And it really helps us to see things better. We can enhance them, and with that, we have better accuracy of diagnosis for our patients. And we also have decreased repeat films, and so decreased radiation. So that's really exciting for me.
What happens when the equipment wears out? And this is not the really large problem. For instance, the X-ray machines that we're just replacing now are 23 and 17 years old. So an average of 20 years, you'd be happy if your car lasted 20 years. So this is not the real problem. The real problem is, do they go out of date? In other words, do they become non-state-of-the-art? And the X-ray machines that we've just purchasing now, because they are such state-of-the-art, I don't think that they will last less long than the previous X-ray machines. But the ultrasound machines go out of date, out of state-of-the-art in 5 or 6 years, although they're still functional, because ultrasound, being a newer science in radiology, is advancing rapidly. And we started originally with the grayscale. Now we have color and Doppler. And just last year, a year and a half ago, we added 3D, 3-dimensional and 4-dimensional to our new machine, which means that we can actually see the fetus in utero in 3-dimensional views just as if it's in front of you, and the 4-dimension means that we can actually see it moving. So it's advancing rapidly, so generally that has to be changed every 5 or 6 years.
As a family physician, the PACS system is going to provide with me not only convenience of viewing films anywhere there's a computer in the hospital, it's also going to provide me with the opportunity to get consultation on these films when I'm on call on weekends and we don't have a radiologist. I can send them anywhere there is somebody to read them. This will improve the accuracy of our diagnosing and also our managing of our patients. This could be huge in terms of whether or not we need to transfer someone or we can manage people in our hospital. I really like that aspect, and in addition, the quality of viewing and the fact that we can view it eventually in our offices and also compare films from previous times without having bags of x-rays that we're trying to sort through. It's just going to be like using my digital camera and going and picking out the boxes or films that I want to view.
Now, laser unit, we had to have, because a year ago we purchased the DR fluoroscopic machine, but we didn't have PACS to transmit the images. So what we did, we transmitted it by cable to a thing called a laser printer, and that prints out film that's like X-ray film. Well, when we acquire the new radiographic unit, we will also hook that in, and the advantage of that is, since we bought the laser printer and we'll keep it, when the PACS goes down, or is being serviced, we can print the X-ray, or from the X-ray machines, we can print the images on the laser. So we won't be down, we won't have to sit around and spend 3 days recouping it.
Well, since starting my work here as a family doctor and seeing patients and getting more involved with reading X-rays and helping to diagnose people, I found that I really got excited about what was going on in the hospital when I started hearing we were getting a new hospital and that we were going to update our equipment. The thing about our equipment I didn't realize was some of it's like 25 years old. And I thought, fantastic, the hospital's going to get new equipment. And then I found out, what? The government doesn't pay for it? I couldn't believe it. But understanding that that's the way things go in our system and that the community has to rally together, I really want to tell everybody how important it is. Already some of the images coming out of the machinery that's been updated are so much better. The accuracy, the resolution is incredible, and going the next step to the digital through the PACS and having it available on computers and online is really important for our community. Our hospital has to grow and improve just as much as I had to get a digital camera and find out for myself how much better they are and how user-friendly and get into this new century of ours. So really, I want to ask everybody, our community, our physicians, board members, hospital administration, anybody who's been part of West Lincoln, who might become a part, I really want to ask you to help us because this is fantastic. This is on the way towards our new hospital, being state-of-the-art, up-to-date, and getting ready for our CT scanner too someday, I hope. Well, no, I don't hope. I know it's going to happen, but with your help. Thanks.
Project X-Ray marks an opportunity for us to continue the process of providing our community with a state-of-the-art hospital and equipment.
I am pleased to be part of this excellent Project X-Ray team. This is consistent with our goal of providing the best possible care in what has always been one of the province's outstanding community hospitals. We are blessed by the support of some of the hospital's closest long-term friends and donors, some of whom are committing their time and resources for the first time.
As a local resident, business person, and chair of the Advanced Division, I welcome the opportunity to assist with Project X-Ray to better equip our hospital for today and the future.
My sisters and I were all born at West Lincoln Memorial Hospital, as well as 3 of my children. It is personally important to me that we maintain a top-shelf facility that will be providing quality health care to current and future generations in Niagara.
West Lincoln Memorial Hospital is the component that makes West Niagara a complete community. I believe Project X-Ray completes West Lincoln Memorial as a world-class hospital for the betterment of the people of West Niagara.
I believe Project X-Ray will help in enhancing our quality of life in our communities.
Key to assuring the quality of healthcare in West Niagara is providing support for the purchase of state-of-the-art medical equipment to enable our medical professionals to promptly diagnose and treat patients. Project X-Ray is a big step in providing both the equipment and infrastructure to that end.
As Hospital Board Chair, I know firsthand how critically important it is that we not only replace aging equipment, but continually look to the future to ensure our physicians and professional staff have state-of-the-art tools to help maintain the health of our communities. Project X-Ray is an excellent example of this, and I ask everyone to support this very worthy cause with a donation to our foundation.
A vital part of our foundation is our donors, who have shown a remarkable spirit of philanthropy. We recognize their vision of excellence in healthcare, and we salute them for their continued interest and support of West Lincoln Memorial Hospital. Your support of the work at the Foundation is what sets us apart, and is also what brings us together as a community.
It's been a personal pleasure for me to be a part of the leadership of the Foundation over the years. A great deal of that satisfaction comes from seeing the incredible generosity of our community. And it's an honor to have the opportunity to work with caring and committed volunteers and staff who all help ensure the hospital continues to provide the highest quality of care for the patients of today and tomorrow through its foundation. One of our jobs here at the Foundation is to educate donors as to the various ways they may plan their gift. Donors of all levels can plan their charitable giving to the hospital in unique ways, some of which offer increased tax benefits or the benefit of continuing to enjoy an asset that eventually becomes a gift to the hospital's foundation. More than one type of gift combination may also work well for you. As with any financial decision, we suggest you seek professional advice as to your own personal situation. One of the most popular ways that donors give to the Foundation, or many other charitable organizations in Canada for that matter,
is with a cash donation. However, when a donor wishes to make a donation through another gift arrangement or a gift in combination with a cash donation, we can offer assistance to them or their professional advisor as to the various possibilities. For example, one gift vehicle that is very popular and often a more tax-effective way to make a major donation without encroaching on liquid assets is through a gift of securities, particularly those which have significantly increased in value since their acquisition. As of 2006, the capital gains inclusion rate on charitable gifts of publicly listed securities has been reduced to 0. The net cost of giving securities is surprisingly low, as you can see in this example. Certainly one of the most popular and easy to plan gifts to be made after a donor's lifetime is a bequest, or a gift by will. Bequests enable the foundation to build a solid funding base which supports the hospital far into the future. Bequesting a gift is as easy as including simple language in your will that the foundation can provide to your lawyer. Other popular ways that donors have given to the foundation include gifts of real estate and other personal property, retirement assets, and gifts of life insurance. All of these gift arrangements provide immediate tax savings as well. There are also gift arrangements that provide income during your life, called charitable gift annuities and charitable remainder trusts. And there are ways to make a gift of an asset, such as a home or a cottage that you could continue to use during your lifetime, called a gift of residual interest. By making an irrevocable gift of such an asset, you would receive the benefit of a tax receipt. Another creative type of gift is setting up or contributing to an endowment fund. Endowments are special funds created specifically to provide a never-ending source of income to the hospital's foundation. Such funds are invested with only the income used to support the needs of the hospital, thereby allowing the principal to grow in perpetuity. These funds may be named for you or a loved one and can be given during your lifetime or bequeathed in your will. An endowment fund is a meaningful way to create and ensure that permanent philanthropic goals are fulfilled. The West Lincoln Memorial Hospital Foundation is here to assist you in finding a way of giving that best meets your situation and your goals. We invite you to visit us or request a visit from us to discuss these and other ways of giving to the hospital. Thank you for your consideration and ongoing support of our local hospital, West Lincoln Memorial.
The availability of different giving vehicles is key to me personally for the flexibility of giving. I can make a gift for my estate, I can make a gift of life insurance, I can make a gift in stock, and really I can make a gift that maximizes both the tax benefit and the financial benefit for my particular situation.